Hello there and welcome back to the Sanctum, the place where I show you all of my tricks while put them off live right in front of you. And you know what? I said last week that we would be ending our journey with Bitwig, but I lied. Because I decided to put the final nails in this coffin alongside you, because I listened to the track once a few days ago after the last session, and I realized there were plenty of moments that I would like to add, or stuff that I would like to add to the sound of the track that we're working on, to take it close to the end, or close to what is supposed to be. And with that being said, let me introduce you to the Stunning Brave, and I've got to be such time beautiful. Turn around me, say hello to somebody. Look at that, so stunning, so brave.
Hello, girls and boys. How's it going? Very glad to be back, and great to have you here as well.
Don't know if today's a beautiful one, but
no, I don't think it's one of those days.
but it's but whatever. You know what I mean. So, are you excited?
Very.
Look at that. So let's get into it. Welcome back to Bitwig Studio. In front of us, we have a track that we are about to put an end to it, because the track is actually very much finished when it comes to its structure. But today I want to share with you some of my techniques when it comes to adding transitions from section to section. Okay?
Yep.
So as usual, let's listen to the track from the top so we can see exactly where we are at the moment. Not bad. Gotta admit. What do you think?
Of course.
Look, I like the track quite a lot. Regarding of what is missing or the thing that you're gonna be doing today, because you mentioned the whole thing about the different sections of the song, and I
Yes.
think that the sections are very well defined. Because compositionally speaking, I think it's very clear when one ends and another one begins. It's just about being taken there in a more smooth fashion.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
kind of abrupt at times.
I wouldn't use the word abrupt, but it could be smoother, if that makes sense to you. So let's begin. While the track was playing, I got this idea. I think it's gonna be very badass to add even more drama.
It's not dramatic enough.
It's not dramatic enough here in this section when it goes super dark. There. I'm gonna add a piano. Or a grand piano. Not your regular kind of piano. We're not wimps.
Go grand.
Yeah,
Gotta go grand or go home.
One grand. Make sure that I send it to the sum. Where is my sum?
The right column.
Thank you. With that, Andrew Schweppes. Okay, so let's begin. I'm gonna go for contact because I know exactly which library I want to use. And for those of you making fun of me, still using Contact 7? Yes. They haven't bought complete, the newest complete. So let's go for a piano. And also, if you're making fun of me because I use the old school Contact screen, it's because I've been using Contact for that long. Okay. So let me see. I think I'm gonna go for where's that guy? The gentleman. No, the grandeur. Just to get it. Grand. Yes. This is in French. Le grandeur. Okay, so let's see. Oh. Bath. Let's go for the darkest of our beds. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the fifth. Yeah. Yeah. So, let's do it like that. But, since I'm super lazy, I know that I already have the whole chord progression here using on Monarch, so I'm gonna simply copy. Make sure that I'm gonna have this guy where I should. Copy the whole damn thing, going straight to my contact. Ah, look at that, so beautiful. External Brave, let's change the name. This is gonna be pianissimo. Wax Italian. Okay, now let's okay, that's gonna be a good question. Let me see, because if I were in Logic, I could simply just use my key command that actually takes everything down. But right now, my memory is failing me. Let me see if I can change it. Scaling, no. Could it be this? Could it be this?
There's only one way to know.
It didn't. Okay, no. Let's do it like the Pagan Kings of old. Oh, and then let's add the fifth. But let's do it correctly because it was a little bit off tempo. I would say. Where are my notes? Why are they not visible? Sometimes, please. Let's see what's wrong. No, it is not. Oh, I can see why. The region wasn't big enough. So let's see. Let's make sure that the monarch is correct. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. Okay, but now it is not on the grid. I want it to be right there. Quantized.
I think you're only quantizing those two, but the rest is also.
Yeah, let me see. We might be able to live with that. No, we won't. Let's fix it because it's gonna add a lot of trouble. So I'm gonna simply Command C all the way down to the beginning because I'm lazy. Yes, like that. Thank you. And let's do it correctly. Sorry. There is now. Q. The fudge. Uh-huh. Let's see.
Quantize now?
Yeah, but it's not necessarily speaking that that precise. Let's see. Let's do it again. It's a mess. Sorry about that. I'm starting to think I should just play it. Let me play it. Okay, here we go. Uh-huh. Ready. Oh, that one took me by surprise. What's this one? Let's fix it. Now what? Oh, damn! So it's not that day, man. I'm gonna remove the channel and this entire thing. Let's do it again. Here we go. Instrument. Here we go again. Contact. Please get a contact. Contact. 7. There it is. Perfect. Output. Sum. There it's perfect. So once again, give me the freaking. Where's that guy? There. Oh, that perfect. I'm gonna increase a little bit the output because it's not that loud. And it should work now correctly. Again, I'm gonna try the same thing because it should work. It has to work. Thank you. Thank you. There it is. Perfect. Selecting. Dropping. That's it. Now, shit, I can see anything. There it is. Okay. Now let's work correctly on it.
And it seems now that it's two tempo.
Yeah, it is two tempo. The things that these notes were correctly played. Just gonna. That's it. Okay,
Slightly ahead.
Slightly, no, it's behind. The second, the chord is behind. Why? Because I couldn't see. There is. Let me quantize them all. There is. Now they're quasi correct. Not a big deal. Okay, from that onwards, now let's select these guys again. Now let's take them one octave down. There is perfect. Good. Now it's working. Sorry for the whole delay. Now, what's my plan with this bad boys? First, let's confirm that they are actually correctly, the octaves are correct. Why I'm saying that? Because music doesn't work like simply pushing stuff around. And you usually will find yourself in the spots on which this guy, one note, by dragging these and creating the chord, one of them is going to be off. So let's confirm. Now they're set correctly. Look, I'm having issues with my mouse, okay? So it's kind of tough. That's why my accuracy hasn't been the best. Okay, now we got this in order. Let's do the trick. I'm gonna first create a copy of these guys. Copy, thank you. And then we're gonna do this. Bounce in place. Just, yeah, bounce in place. Oh man, I love the fact that you don't have to create a new channel. And we can now get rid of contact from this guy. Now, we are dealing with a sample. Well, with audio. So what I'm going to do, select them all. And over here, I'm going to, where is the reverse? Reverse, there it is, perfect, look at that. On spot. Great, and then, let's set it to the grid. Because that would be stupid just having it there like this. So let's do it like this. And in theory, this should be great. But I don't know if you notice that there is a problem with this. It reversed the entire take. So now the final chord is the one that has been triggered at the beginning. So let's fix it. How to do it? Easy. We're gonna undo everything, and we will have to go like this. We're gonna have to do the clips. We're gonna have to split. So let me see. Slice and fold. Thank you. Slice in place. Using the onsets, bit to grid is better. Every 4, I think. That's too much. Let's do it again. Yeah, it's gonna be basically a bar. So once again, split and fold is gonna be basically bars or bit markers. Bit markers gonna be better. Did nothing. Nice in place. Bit markers. Did nothing. So it's not working with that one. Let's do it again. Let's go for onsets. The things that onsets, yeah, that's what I want. I want to avoid. So let's do it again. Let's find the one that works.
Go by bars. I think it's like 4 bars per.
Yeah, that's probably the best. I'm gonna use bars. Yeah, bars. You were on the money. Okay, let's do it. Well, this one is not correct. No, it's not bars, man. I'm gonna have to. Let's do the onsets. I'm gonna delete a good chunk of them. I guess I'm gonna just preserve the loudest, which is just the attack. Let's see. Perfect. I know this is the tedious part. Sorry about this. And I probably could do it in an automated fashion because this is Bitwig we're dealing with. So there's a big chance that there is an actually very efficient way to do this. Okay. No, that's correct. That's on the spot. Again. Damn.
That's a lot.
And there's still an extra one, I think. Yes, there is. Perfect. And we're basically done. Look at that. Okay, now selecting them all. Split and fold in place. We're gonna use the onsets. There we go. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. For now, we're gonna just simply be reversing to taste, and I actually can't reverse them all. Reverse, rock, and then maybe a little bit of an auto fade. Yeah. Now let's move them to where they should be. Now it should work. Should be bad. Excellent. Bad. We need to have a little bit more of extra juice because it feels a little bit lame, don't you think? Let's add some reverb.
Okay. Yeah.
Reverb. No, I want an effect. Burp. I'm gonna go for black hole, something big and ridiculous. Yeah, it's gonna be basically just the release tail, and I'm gonna lower the lows, a bit of the highs. Let's add feedback and resonance, and I'm gonna apply pre-delay. So this is correct. Gravity. Gravity is basically how long it's gonna take for the delay to release. But if I go negative, it's gonna be reverse. That could have been also another solution, but I wanted to do it the hard way. Let's see, and probably no, that's enough. Let's see. No, I'm not convinced. Let me see why. Oh, I can see why. It's not... there. Damn it. This is slightly off. No worries. I'm gonna push them in forcibly. Now it should work. No, it seems that it's not Robbie, but by a tiny margin, as you can see here. Let's zoom in. Why is that? Could it be that my onset suck?
Yeah, I think the onset is kind of cutting the very
Yeah, it's not on
attack
the
of the nose.
spot. It's not there, man. Okay. I'm truly thinking in logic terms today. Let's, yeah, even my key commands are very logic. I'm gonna actually recreate all of my key commands from logic to Bitwig because it's truly driving me insane. I'm gonna do it again. Let's see why that didn't happen. First, let's take a look at these guys. They're very much on the spot. I'm gonna add reverb to the piano sample first. A huge amount of space. Yes, give me a lot. Size. Let's see. Let's turn it on, of course.
That helps.
And I'm gonna use Taj Mahal. That could work. And let's do it. So, what can I do? I'm gonna delete this guy. Duplicate. There is excellent, including the piano, the river. This should work in theory. Let's see.
When you duplicate like that, the output to the sum is already there, right?
Yes, that one is already there. Okay, allegedly this should be the way. I'm gonna simply I should have done the splits first. Split and fold. I'm gonna try once again with the no. I'm gonna onsets. Cancel. Bounce in place again. Okay, here now we're gonna go once again for this. Splice and fold. Slice and fold, but I'm gonna onset threshold. See if this is better. The hell
I think you need to put the playhead where the
is here? Okay, onsets. No, I don't know if it's gonna be the way to do it. But I'm gonna show you another secret trick. In this case, I'm gonna use a plugin. The only problem with that plugin, and one of the reasons why I don't like to use it that often, it's because it's kinda demanding in this, not the CPU, but the latency. Is Mirror. And it basically does the whole trick without having to go through the hassle. Let me show you. Nice doing it, but let me add the reverb, blur, no dry signal, full on wet. And we just simply have to push these guys here. And this should work, but see how long it takes for my for the playhead to begin moving. Yeah, now it's doing the trick. I'm gonna put it here. Let's do this. Even Bitwig is letting me know that this is not necessarily a good idea. Deploying is great, but look at the latency. 2024 milliseconds. No, not a good idea. No worries. Let's do it the hard way then. Ish. Okay, how can I do it? Let's begin. You know what? It's easier to splice it just using this area. Why do I have to always like to do everything so in the toughest possible way? Split. Damn it. Where's my split?
There's cut up there.
Yeah, cut. But it's just
Oh,
cutting. It's
okay.
cutting. And look, the issue is this: is for whatever reason is not landing the hits correctly. Look, the transient is not on the spot. Look, I'm gonna scrap this idea for now because truly it's not jamming. It's not going with the flow. So I'm gonna add some percussions. That was also part of the plan anyway. So here we go. Add in instrument track. I'm gonna go for contact again. Because in this case, I want to use another one of my first libraries that I bought.
Which is?
Damage.
Mm.
Where is damage? Here it is. And I'm gonna go for percussive kits. Damage is actually a very cool library of sounds, percussive oriented, but it's designed or it was done using even steel drums and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Not drums, steel drums. Not it's not steel drums. Actually barrels, like Donkey Kong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it has plenty of very weird ass sounding stuff. For example, we got a Studio Armageddon ensemble kit, and make sure that you can hear it. There it is. That's cool. Okay, so we can try that one. I'm gonna increase a little bit the output, but look, what makes damage is that you can do this. Add distortion to the whole kit, and that's actually very cool. Now let me add a little bit of drive.
Very aggressive sound.
Very aggressive. Cool, right?
Yep.
Now a little bit of room sound. Hall, because we're gonna be using plenty of reverb here. Like that. So let's see. I'm gonna try it here. Here we go. The last one sucked. Super off. Let's see. Exactly. There it is now. Let's see now. Let's see how it fares, because I would like to make those thumbs. This is gonna be doom. There it is. Now, let's see if they are. Some of them were off, some of them were a little bit too much. But is the first try. The idea is to make this section a little bit more cinematic, because it actually goes super cinematic in this part. So let's see. Yeah, that one I don't like. I like the intro. And maybe even just leaving here the phrase, the dun dun, in like a recurrent theme. Yeah, let me address that one, because it feels a little bit super off, clearly. That's actually worth. There's that one. That is not here. That one could work, but I think I could use a different library for this obligato, so I'm gonna remove them. Off. And you know what? I think I'm gonna stick to this whole performance now that I think about it. Let's see how it fares here. The last one are awful. But I think I can just drop this as a final statement. Let's see. Sorry, way too far. Like it. Now. I think when I mentioned that I would like to have something more like an obligado, and I mentioned using a different library, is because there are actual libraries. I have one. Let me show you. This is called. Let me see if I have it. It's again from Contact. As you can see, I'm a huge fanboy. And the library in question is Impact. Action Strikes. I knew it. I have it. It could be Assemble. Let's try this guy. Let it load because this is actually a big library. Look. Let me show you. Select a different. This one, for example. Oh, they can hear anything. Now you should. One hit on the keyboard, and it's doing all of that. So that's good, and you can actually have different rhythms here. So let's look for something that could work. Could it be 8s? Or even 16s? Let's see this guy. Let's change this one. So I think this is the one that I select. That could be a great ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's try that one. Let me go here. Because now I want to create a super kind of chaotic, not ending, but more like rhythmical. Get me?
Mm-hmm.
Adding more percussions and creating a very dense, not complex, not necessarily polyrhythm, but
Layered.
layered. Thank you. Let me see if that's the ending.
Yeah.
That could be good every so often. Let's see. Because this could be the boom. Okay, it's kind of long. Let's see. Damn, how many bars? Let's record it. It's like 3 bars, right? Let me check. Yeah, it is. Let's see. I need 4 fours. Let's see. Totally off. Let's do it again. So I had to turn on the click track. Okay, so a little bit later. Let's see. Record. Terrible. But it's easy to fix. We got the magic of the miracle of Medi. It's gonna be because we need it to end here. Let's see if it works there. Let's see. So weird. The tempo is weird.
it's like a bar and some.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be somewhere there. Let's see. Okay, nice. It's kind of like this. Let me solo that guy. I think it's working now. Let's see. Let me increase the volume of that guy. Let me see. Because those are almost feels. I'm happy with that. Oh, but we're still stuck to that guy. Let's change this to. Oh, damn it. Let's see. Which is the key triggering? Okay, it's this guy. So this is. So I go. Yeah, okay. It's this guy. Why am I checking with that guy? The thing is that you can actually use these keys on my bigger keyboard. Right now I'm rocking a very tiny one that allows you to actually, those are known as key switches. So you can actually change the pattern that is being played by the contact instrument while you're performing. So you can actually go for example, the green ones is single hits. Blues are triggering the articulation based on the articulation is the sequence, okay? It's triggering the articulation based on the selection of in this case the toms, not toms, the drums you click on. For example, right now I'm way too low. You see that is now triggering just that guy. So I want it to be triggering this guy later. Let's see if that one is not that bad. It's just, oh, sorry. Yeah, that's excellent. Kind of Batman-like, right?
Yeah.
So
it's about to go down.
It's about to go down, and I would like to go down. So how to do it? You need to be careful with this kind of approaches. We need to select first or place on the timeline the key that actually triggers that particular articulation. So let me check it out again. I'm gonna have it here on the screen. It's this guy. Okay, so it's A1. So we're gonna go all the way down here. And it's not A, sorry, it's B. So I like to do it like this. I always like to put the key switch first, just in case whenever I do this kind of weird introductions. But once I got the performance going, I always like to have them on the key that is triggered, not just the triggering the sounds, so I can swap on the spot. Okay. So let's see. I'm gonna do this experiment. I'm gonna bring back the library, and right now I'm gonna select. I'm gonna use this guy here. Right now he's now playing this articulation. I'm gonna put this on the side, to this side. You know what? Put me on the other side there, please.
Yeah.
Like this, so everybody can see if this works. This, as soon as the playhead hits this guy, this should move to this. Didn't. Why is that?
Is it outside of the region now?
No, I think. Oh, it's even lower. That's good. So let's fix it. Now it is. Look, let's do the experiment again. There is. Okay. Yeah. So the next one, I would like to go for this. No, we decided this. Which one was the one we liked? I think it was this way. Yeah, that one is awesome. So I'm gonna be using this one. So for this, we're gonna have to now put that guy there, here, and we don't have to have the exact length of the performance on our key switch, because when you do that, as soon as let's see what happens with the playhead. We're gonna select it here. It's gonna switch to this one, and then it's gonna switch to this guy. Perfect.
Yep.
It's working.
Yep.
So from here, I can freely play the notes that I want to trigger. That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna basically drone that note for almost the entirety of the performance. Here we go. And of course, click track, please. I'm a prog rocker. Here we go. Also, one thing, I created an automation pass that I shouldn't. Let me delete it. There it's perfect. Why that happened? Because when I had this on, I also had the automation recording on. No worries. I like it, but I have to do a little bit of quantization. This section was just a test. Let me click clean, fix it, and this guy as well. Good. Now we got this out of the way. Now let's move over to something else, because it's starting to, we drag way too much in this section. Sorry about that. This is gonna be my orchestral rename. This is gonna be OMG. Thumbs. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, easy to detect. Now, we need risers. Easy. Once again, contact. Duplicating, but this time around we're going to be using a completely different library. And this guy is actually probably one of my favorite libraries out of the huge collection coming from Native Instruments. Rise and Hit. Let me see. We're going to use lifters, or let's try
Into the Void, how edgy.
Like it. Let's try Into the Void. Which one do you like? Eye of the Storm, Lost Sirens, Lost Choir, Radio Silence, Radio Silence. Okay, see what happens.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Automagically.
Can they hear it?
They can. That they did.
Okay.
So let's try that out. This is gonna be our. Where is it? Is this guy? Let me just kill this. Copy everything. This is gonna be our rice. Let's see. Oof.
Okay, that's badass.
Even the sub, man.
Yeah.
So let's use this. And look at this. This is why I love it so much. It's not just the fact that you can actually have these beautifully crafted, layered risers. You can manipulate them to taste. For example, you wanted to wait the drag for 8 bars. You got it. Look.
Okay. Awesome.
Set to tempo, pal. But also, you can, for example, add a whoosh. Look at this. I'm gonna make it shorter so you can actually see this bad boy in action faster. Got it?
Yep.
And you can actually create your own layers of sounds. Right now, I am working with 4 of those guys. Just the first one. Not that intense, right? But the idea is that you can actually create, and you can see that we can actually change the sound. Where's the lever? Here. And let me show you the options.
Okay, so Frickton.
A frickton. I'm going to use that term, like it. Being frank, out of the box is working. This guy. But maybe without the whoosh. Let's see. This guy. Let's see which one is that noisy. I knew it. I like it, but it's too loud. Easy. And we can even add an offset for it.
Oh.
That one works.
Yep.
So, let's find first the spots on which I would apply those risers. I think from the top, at the beginning, of course not, but you know where? Right out of the top of my head, here, where we go to a different mood. Let's see. There. Let's drop it there. And where's my whoosh, my rice? Excellent. Recording. Stephanie! Love it. That was great. Didn't you like it?
I did. Yeah, and it's throwing us there now.
It is now, right?
Yeah.
But let's make it better.
A
Like
freak
you-
ton of reverb.
Of course. No, this is the one that we have to be careful, and actually we're gonna go full on Bitwig in this one. Let's do it. We're gonna apply. Damn it, mistake. Sorry. Let's see if we can actually log in multi-output, add multi-chain. No, there's another one. First, I'm gonna put a split. Frequency split. Look, pal.
What am I looking at?
Do you understand the concept of multi-band compression, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which stands for you select a certain region of frequencies, and that's the one that you're gonna be affecting.
Yeah.
What if I tell you that you can actually apply effects on the basis of its frequency range?
For real? So maybe you're just gonna reverb the high end of the sound.
Exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
All right.
Yep.
Let's do it. Reverb. Let's try something fast. Let's see.
Okay. Cool.
Let's increase the width. Good. But I'm going for a hole. And maybe...
What is that now?
That's panning. That's a pan.
Okay.
Now let me see if we can actually... Let's see. Here we go. Nice, because I want to preserve the low end. Let's see. There it is.
That was pretty great. Yeah.
Yeah. Now let's see where else can we apply one of those bad boys. There, but you know what? I think it's gonna be better if we have a crash. Where's my crash? Oh shit. Huh. That's gonna be problematic because this is a loop. Consolidate. Oh shit, this is not the part that I wanted to do it. Let me see. This guy. This guy. There is consolidate. There I am. And in this one, I'm just gonna simply add the crash here. Of course, this is super off. There's now. To the grid. But you know what? Probably a different riser could work.
So it's a little bit quicker.
Shorter one, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bounce this bad boy in place. Bounce in place. Pre-effects, not just bounce. No, sorry. Bounce in place. Yeah, so now I'm gonna move this guy out. I'm gonna create a new channel. And I'll track this case. Put this guy there. And we have access now to our... I'm gonna remove the split, we don't need it right now. And we're gonna try a different sounding. We could use this guy, but shorter.
We need to show the new track to some.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Here it is. Let's see how the super fast sweep.
Okay.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
So let's copy. Let's write it. Record it. Here, where is it?
Thanks for the.
It's over. Damn. Here, I think it is. But you know what? I think for this one we can get away with the same.
Longer one as well.
That one.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's record it. A little bit off. Sorry, but it's because I forgot to turn on the metronome on my end. But now it's kind of there. So let's see. So I think we're basically there, don't you think? Let's see from the top. Okay, I like it. I think that the risers are working, at least that one. But I want to make this section here a little bit more interesting as well. So I'm going to add another layer to it. I'm going to simply copy the MIDI regions, but I'm going to use a different instrument. This is basically layering. There it is. This is going to be... you know, we can even use the piano. Now that I think about it, we got it.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
Some.
That guy, I'm not gonna use it, this guy. I'm gonna try first on the piano. Let's see. Like it, but we need more reverb.
Make it big.
Yeah, we gotta make it big. Which one can we use? Because I wanna show you something different. I always try to show you different reverbs. I want something ridiculous. Ultra. Go ultra.
Oh, that interface looks very.
This is kind of scary.
Yeah.
No, the thing is that this has delays and stuff, man. This is actually very cool. Eventides, ultra reverb. Let me let's see how it sounds out of the bat. Out of the bat. Not bad.
Not big enough.
Not big enough. So let's increase the decay time. And also let's go for something. Let's try ambience.
Okay, now we're talking.
Now we're talking. This is pod racing. I think it's too much. Let's see.
It's 12 seconds of decay time.
Look at that. Let's see. I wanna listen to it from this section from the introduction. So I wanna feel it. That's clearly riser territory, don't you think?
Yes.
Let's add one. It's gonna be badass. Let's see. Logic. Yes, Queen.
Slay.
Oh, great, but damn it, just put it there. Come on. That is fun, man. We don't need this channel actually. Okay. Sorry about my bad temper, but damn. Now let's see, because these guys are working, but kinda too much, don't you think? The thumbs.
Yeah, a tiny bit, yes.
Because now with the riser, I don't know if I like him.
Kinda clashing.
Kinda clashing. Let me mute him. Let's see. Let me see if it's properly set in tempo, because if even the smallest... works. But now I feel that this section here needs something.
Maybe that would be the place for a quick riser. A shorter
Or Monarch, a Moog-like final low note.
Okay.
Semi-percussive. Let's try it. That could work. But
Going
you get me,
deep.
right? Lowest balls.
Yeah, very deep
like
sound.
almost like a kick drum, but with tons of release. Let's do it. Let's...
We got Monarch going, right? Oh,
yeah, I already
there
have
it
a
is.
Monarch here, so let's duplicate this guy, but I'm not gonna use... I'm gonna use a completely different version of Monarch. Because tons of attack, tons of sustain. Let's see. Not that much sustain. And also let's go dip. Also, let's try with the envelope. Let me make sure. What's the note for the ending of this section? That one. But this is too much.
That's very deep.
Better. So a little bit of resonance to add a little bit of attack. Ooh. Maybe a little bit more resonance. Too much. First thing there. Yes. What do you think?
Like it. Let's see how it fits.
Yeah. Let me change the going for a sine wave.
A little bit less greedy.
Less greedy, but let me open the cutoff. Too much resonance. No, it went nasal. Let's turn this on.
Kind of ballistics.
Yes. That was ridiculous. Kind of bell like. Let me change this thing. That register sounds better. And too much decay. Oh yes, Queen. A bit more decay.
That's cool.
That's the one, I think. Let's see. Hopefully you could hear the entire thing. Yes, you could. Let's do it. Let me make sure that that's the note. Yeah, all fun and games, Everybody's gangster, right? Let's fix it. Bet. Let's see if it. I agree with you that we can go for a little bit longer decay, a little bit more sustained maybe, to keep the note holding for longer. But let's apply a little bit of effects. How about if we throw some delay? Sticking to the Moog.
Since we're at it.
Yeah, we're at it. Let's see. Because this guy also has an LFO. So let's see. Should we sync the tempo?
Okay.
It's getting somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Because now I want to like it. A little more of effect.
Okay, that was badass.
Nailed. Maybe, let's go for the traditional delay. Want another delay? Let's see. Let's go for. Which one can we use? That is. Let's go for universal. The speed echo. Tape echo. Even more dirtier. And again, synced. So this bad boy. Plus bass. No echo. Just reverb. Not reverb, sorry. Just repetitions.
Get a little bit rumblier.
It's got, yeah, that's the issue. It's kind of rumbly. Oh, I don't think it's gonna be a good idea. That was just an attempt. Me trying to go fancy. The other thing is that works marvelous with guitars, for example, because when you put delay on top of in front of another delay, you start to create a very organic sounding echo. It's no longer reverb because reverb has a release tail. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then you stop hearing the repetitions if you sync them correctly. Usually the trick is a quarter and then an eighth note, a dotted eighth, sorry, delay, one after the other.
Yeah.
Creating this tuku thing.
No, okay.
But since they are repeating the repetitions, they start to create like this kind of cloud.
The thing in this case, the sound is way too deep.
It's way too deep. It was just an attempt. I wanted to see what happens. Now let's see how it fares within the mix. Yeah, let me drop that one at the end. Robbie, I need you to be here. Are you here? Well, you come back. I'm gonna record this guy. Shit, I need my. Okay, good. Look, Robbie. Here's the plan. Let me record this, and I will share the plan with you. Yeah, those two overly over the top ultra low end perks. This is gonna be my low end. This is low
Low as F.
low blow. There you go. Okay. Okay, we're coming to the end to this live stream. Bad Robbie, one thing. I tried to reach you throughout the week, but I sucked at it. So I apologize for my lack of expertise in the ways of communication. But I want you to add some vocal parts. As you mentioned before, you mentioned in one of the previous live streams that you got some ideas for lyrics. Look, this is what I'm thinking. We got plenty of sections that could be fantastic for sound design, using the spoken word or even singing voices, not necessarily singing the track, if you know what I mean, in the traditional sense.
Yeah.
Like melodies, in and out, almost like free form.
And trippy.
Trippy, because my plan is, and this is the actual reason why I decided to continue doing these encore sessions, because this is going to be the encore number 1. The next session should be encore number 2. What I want to do is, I want to mangle the whatever text you send to me here live and work quasi with you. Of course, it's not necessarily the same as when we do the session wire sessions, because this is not live. Well, there is a latency, huge latency, but because I also would like to add some form of AI generated voices, creepy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, weird stuff.
Weird stuff, even just gibberish if possible. Why? Because it would be great to add those sections of, particularly at the end. Because last week we had this discussion of it feeling like eyes wide shut, kind of, right? Like you go to a party that all is fun and games, everybody's a gangster, until
interesting things.
you start to see things that you shouldn't be seeing, you didn't expect to see.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, one of those white parties involving a particular double D character, but you get me, Robbie, right? Yeah, we even have agreed with the title. Exactly, Rob. So I'm gonna print this track right away as soon as this is over. I'm gonna upload it to the usual method. Okay, Rob, and we can then later coordinate throughout the week a live session, a session wire session, so we can actually work in tandem with the track. Because last week I wanted to be the final iteration of this adventure. And sorry for the beginning, I was a little bit clumsy. I've been working for extensively. Let me show you. Let me see if I have access to the controls, to the cameras. My brain is a little bit somewhere else because I've been doing this.
Not me.
Not him. Thank God for the clarification. But I've been reamping the entire week using Logic. And that has been kind of my brain is thinking in that way. Let me show you the things. I think this is a bird shot, allegedly. Yeah, this is a Weber shot. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So I've been working with these bad boys the entirety of the week, and I've been rocking pedals, guitars, everything, and my brain is super set right now in the Logic fashion. Actually, take us to this shot, man. You're using the worst possible way. You're showing them the controls for cameras. Thank you. That's kind of low.
They got it going.
Yeah, it worked. Yeah, the Blackened Veil. Yes, Robbie, that was the title that we liked. So yeah, it's not me trying to excuse myself. It's just an apology because I was a bit lost at the beginning. But at least we got something useful, and I managed to show you some of the contact libraries that I like to use the most. Rob, if you're in accordance to this, please say yes. You got like 5 seconds before we quit because I want to read it. Because once we stop live stream, we cannot read any further comment. So please do. So I'm gonna try to buy some time for you to answer. So yeah, final comments. How do you feel now the track is taking basically almost done?
I think now, even though we are just dealing with the final details, they can be very impactful in the overall feel of the sound. I
Yeah.
think that those added percussions that you put on the end specifically, they are enhancing quite a lot the dramatic and
Element,
tense
right?
feel of the song. And it's not just impacting the section, even though it's just contained in that section. The
Yes.
whole song feels a little bit more tense because
Exactly. Also,
Yeah.
I would even say that part of my change of temperament is due to the song itself,
of it.
because it's starting. That's the issue, man. When you write music, you start to. Well, at least in my case, and Robbie, if good. Now we got confirmation from me. Good. I somehow I end up like a method actor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I start to truly buy my own bullshit, and I start to truly get into the mood of the song that I'm working on. So when I'm doing something more aggressive, I start to get kind of not pissed, but you know what I mean.
So please don't write black death metal.
That metal, that's the only thing stopping me from being, because I was like, yeah. But okay, okay. But good point. One more thing that I would like to clarify with you. Let me show you this. Take us to the screen, please. Right now, when working with MIDI, you saw that most of my hits are incorrect. Look, that's why we're having issues with the when I was doing the reverse on the back on the renders, the bouncing place instruments. Why? Because right now I'm rocking 512 buffer size. So that adds a lot of latency to the performance. So I try to compensate at times. That's why you saw sometimes me being a little bit ahead or sometimes a little bit behind.
Yeah.
Please be mindful of that. I am rocking right now this particular level of buffer because at this stage, look at the size of the project. We got several tracks, and look, I always try to be conservative, but remember that the drum machine is actually multi-output. So we got plenty of things. Also, some of my synthesizers or samplers are actually have layers upon layers upon layers of different libraries playing in tandem together. So it's actually very, very demanding when it comes to the horsepower of the computer. And right now I'm not rocking a weak Mac, I gotta tell you. But it's still a lot of nuts. So it's important to keep that in mind. I will, of course, address the quantization and add a little bit of humanity to the performance, of course, because to the grid is a little bit weird. But it has to be close enough to the performance of the toms, in particular, the Doom toms. But I'm telling you this because it's important for you to always remember that whenever you're going to be performing, either freeze your tracks or try to do this, the MIDI stuff, early enough. Well, the keyboard stuff early enough. And look at that, we discovered that this is actually a good shot. Look.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, this is actually the keyboard that I was rocking. That's why you saw me leaning to this side. Okay, so Robbie, now we got confirmation. Of course, I'm gonna send to the boombox library, whatever the folder we use, and I'm gonna send an email to you. Okay, so we can actually get in touch and organize the session. So in the meantime, I think we're gonna put an end to this live stream. Sorry once again for my messed up beginning, but I think I managed to show you tricks because the idea was to show you a little bit more of the the finer detailed work that is what makes or breaks the record. And the next week, I'm gonna be working extensively with whatever Robbie comes up with, which I'm kind of scared because it could be very evil. And that's
You
gonna
will be concerned, Robbie.
yeah, I'm concerned for my own well-being, being frank, man. But with that being said, thank you for watching, thank you for joining the live stream, and Next week, we're going to also be find a solution to keep track of the comments from Rumble, because for whatever reason, our software doesn't allow for monitoring Rumble comments at the moment, because we are simultaneously live streaming on Rumble, and soon we're going to be simultaneously live streaming also on X. But we will face the same issue. So that's where we're going little by little, okay? And Rumble, guys, we know that you're subscribing and everything, but bear with us. We need to find a better solution because it's already a mess, okay? But we will find a way to do it. So with that being said, the best way to support the channel is subscribing to both Rumble or wherever you're watching, YouTube. And also you can join our Discord. And actually, Robert, you should join the Discord. It's actually good because we're discussing many things, musical speaking. There are plenty of other guys who are adding, for example, unnamed tracks by untold artists or undiscovered artists. It's very fascinating.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah. So that's gonna be that's important. So thanks for joining, thanks for watching. And the last thing to be reminded is that you should never let anybody tell you what to dream about. And remember that we'll see you when we see you.